Good morning everyone, welcome to day 2 of the EAAM conference in Valencia, Spain. It is not as sunny today. It's cloudy, but it's still warm. It's still very warm. I've gone with a little bit of colour because me and Guillermo, who's the president, were laughing yesterday. We took a photo of all of the speakers and it looked like we'd colour coordinated. Oh, this isn't... Wait, can I go over here so that maybe there's better light? Because my camera does not want to focus. Is it focused? Yes. Yeah, we were laughing because everyone was dressed in beige. Like, everyone was like white and beige. So we look very, very good with a colour scheme. Today's presentations are mostly training presentations. I'm filming a couple of them for my mentees who have requested it. And yeah, so I need to kind of save some of my battery for that. But I do want to kind of get some more bits and clips because I don't know how much I actually filmed yesterday. I went and got earplugs at the Carrefour. Thank God, I got much better sleep. But yeah, I need to go down and meet everyone and head over there now.
Hello, yes, now it's working. Hello everyone. A very short message to start. Someone lost this, that's the key for another group.
Hopefully the message is going to come through. But basically, we need to join together. We need to be the family that we are. So let's get started. Deliver all the amazing work that's going on in the parks. So I think that's something that we need to change. When I worked in Vancouver, I worked with stellar sea lions, and this was on the homepage of an activist. I'm not sure you can call her an activist, but this was Pamela Anderson, or Miss Baywatch, if you remember her. We all can tell this is not a seal, right? So this was a response to the Canadian harp seal culling. So they go out on the ice and they hunt the seals for their white fur, or the pups for their white fur. And people don't know the difference. She apparently don't know the difference. So I'm trying to teach this to students. We need to tell them the facts. We need to tell them what we're actually doing, why are we doing it, how are we doing it, and that we are a big player in conservation. And this is just one example. And we also have the opportunity to work with companies. So we work with either local companies or international companies. When you work on respiratory physiology in dolphins, it's kind of complicated because their respiratory capacity is so much higher than ours for anything that lives on land. So we teamed up with a company called NDD Medical Technologies in Switzerland. They're building a new flow meter for us, and we should test this now in the spring. They also have spirometers for humans, and we can do lung function testing on other animals. This summer we tried it on penguins. We're sure that we can validate it. So these marine parks are really crucial in our ability to get from an idea to validating it, and then we can bring it into the wild. And we can then provide tools for doing real conservation in the wild. What do you see here? Same changes in flow rates and these lung function mechanics. So that's the whole idea, and we're trying to, we did that with animals in parks, and then we could see changes that are diagnostically valid in animals. So now the hope is to be able to repeat this on wild animals.
Produced in contexts where animals are trying to maintain contact with their conspecifics. They are always broadband, often long in duration, so generally over about a second in duration. And we commonly see these produced as biphonations, which means it's a single call comprised of two simultaneously produced sound components. So one of the better known examples of these would be a tonal component overlapping a pulse component, like what you see up here to the right of the slide. These are contact calls actually taken from our animals here at Oceanographic.
Experiment with the hydrophones attached, and they were hanging from a pole that we introduced in the water, always at the same distance, and at a depth of 1 meter to avoid acoustic reflection. Dolphins were trained to wear eye caps to avoid the use of vision during the task. And they were sent with a hand touch signal to go and locate the targets underwater. The trial ended when the dolphin touched one of the targets with the rostrum,
The baby SD concept only 2 weeks after the birth. We decided to have the baby and the mom inside for the birth because the design of the pool was not as easy to get close to the calves in case of problem. So we jump on the opportunities to get the baby concept trained. And well, for those who were sleeping at the start of the presentation, let's go back and see that videos. Okay, we see that ethics...
Social learning, explaining the cultural traditions of killer whales. So the scientists witnessed a sport game between two of our animals, and they just had the idea to use the paradigm to as the overdose. It started in Maryland in 2009, and now it's still in progress today, just thanks to all the variation we can have with this paradigm. And these two trials were just here to be sure that the animals was motivated and that it was concentrated. And if it was incorrect, we just stopped the session here. Copy! 50 long seconds. And during this delay, in the middle of the delay, we had the distraction. And in this video you will see the observer condition. So we will ask the observer to do one new behavior. Distraction. We ask the tongue out. And then we will wait one more time. And it works perfectly. Okay, so the results were published just a few weeks ago. Here you can see the rate of success depending on the length of the delay and also the type of distraction. So in the distraction model condition, so when the model is doing the distraction, the goal is just to avoid an automatic answer from the animal. So it shows that it is a selective ability from the animal. And then, in the other condition, when it's the observer which is supposed to do the distraction, the goal is just to avoid the mental rehearsing of the behavior. And as you can see, it works perfectly. So 60 seconds is the limit to exclude the implication of the short-term memory, but as you see, the success remains really, really high, even for the longest delay. So it shows that killer whales are able to encode and then to recall the information. Now let's pass the advantages of long-term partnership with scientists. We talked about it this morning a little bit, but yes, as a trainer, we are always very proud to participate to this type of projects. It's a way to increase the skills and even the knowledge of generations of trainers. For scientists, it's like a lab, so it's a good way to test things that couldn't be tested in the wild. And the more we work together, the easier it is for them to understand which type of challenge we can fulfill when we are together. For zoo, it's a good way to increase the reputation plan and the visibility, and most of the time, they don't have to invest money. And now, I'm a trainer, so for me the priority is just the welfare of the animals. It helps us a lot with the relationship of our animals. So orca are matriarch, so we have a female which is the dominant, and it helps a lot with the relationship because we use it with submissive and dominant animals. The animals were always really motivated about this session.
Thank you for sharing really hard adventure. Having a congress like this one is not only to share success, but sharing failures can help other teams, but you have to be courageous to do that, and you did, so thank you.
This new habitat took place on the year 2020, after the departure of our beloved walrus family. The enclosure was completely empty, and the Oceanographic of Valencia got one of the biggest ideas: transform all of the empty facility into a new big project about life.
I have not had a chance to update this vlog at all today. It has been so full on. We've had a lot of presentations. Can I puedo sortir aquí?
Sí, claro.
Sí, gracias. Gracias. Yeah, it's been so full on. We've had presentation after presentation after presentation, and I've been really busy grabbing people for like photo opportunities and stuff, but it's been really interesting. We've had more training presentations today, which is I've found more interesting. Yesterday was very conservation focused. Today was much more kind of training focused, which obviously that's my thing. We have 2 round tables again in 30 minutes. There's one here on live strandings, the other one's on gating training, which I think I'm going to go to because I'm also taking a lot of notes and stuff for my mentees. So everyone who's currently in my mentor program are going to get like a big info packet with like video clips, audio clips, notes of everything completely for free, just because they're my mentees. And my old mentees have the opportunity also, they've all been contacted. But yeah, just conferences are freaking expensive. So it's a nice way to kind of educate people and spread the message of everything that we're learning today. So what you don't want from a conference is for it to stay in the conference. We've got to take it with us. But my battery's dying, so I'm gonna go. Do you want to be filmed? Hey.
I'm making my preview look.
It's Freya. With a J. So we just went backstage with the belugas. Couldn't take any photos or videos or anything backstage, but it was so nice of the trainers to show us. We got to see one of the research sessions that they presented about. It's the heart rate research, metabolic heart rate. I think just heart rate. With Kilu and Yulka, the 2 belugas. So yeah, that was really nice.
Casquette, hats. And so at what point it's true that I went to my colleague and I said, I cannot take any decision anymore. I'm full, I cannot. And she said, Isa, just stop.